Welcome to Memorial Stadium here in Lincoln. They call this venue a sea of red. We've got a Big Ten matchup of two of the winningest football programs in college football, both looking for their first win as the Penn State Nittany Lions take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Custer alongside my partner, Robert Smith and Smitty. Can you believe it? Just the second time in 60 years these two programs have met, and neither one of them have been ranked. Both looking for some consistency out of their quarterback play, and the talk all week here in Lincoln has been about quarterback, and Scott Frost told us we will see the freshman, Luke McCaffrey.
We're going to see Luke McCaffrey, and we may even see him start, and why not? You know, at the end of the Northwestern game, Scott Frost wanted to get a spark for this offense. In comes Luke McCaffrey, and a third of the yards that Nebraska produced last weekend against Northwestern came on those last two drives. At times this season, he's lined up at running back. He's lined up at wide receiver. He is a great multiple threat player. Now, Adrian Martinez, we know what kind of dual threat that he is, but they just have not seen the consistency, especially with his accuracy and his decision-making. They were looking for a spark last week. We'll see what they're going to do here at the beginning of the game.
Well, James Franklin and Penn State looking for consistency out of their quarterback position, and coach says, I need better decision-making out of Sean Clifford.
Well, if it was easy, everybody would do it. The decision-making sometimes can be because of pressure. In his defense, Sean Clifford has been pressured all season long, been sacked more than any Big Ten quarterback. Of course, we know about what's happened at the running back position with the players that aren't there in the backfield this year, so the run game hasn't been there. But yes, the decision-making hasn't been great, and his accuracy at times has faltered. But we'll see if this young set of wide receivers and that running game can balance this offense out, take some of that pressure off of Sean Clifford, and see better decisions from him.
Our progressive game flow is the 18th meeting between Penn State and Nebraska. The Cornhuskers have won 4 of the last 5. The kick when we come back. "52 degrees here in Lincoln. We got great football weather. I'm Brian Custer along with Robert Smith and Dean Blandino, our rules expert, with us as well. There's some great football weather as James Franklin in his 7th season at Penn State. Yeah, listen, he's led the Nittany Lions to 3 top 10 finishes. This is one of those seasons he's not accustomed to. He is used to winning. He has not lost more than 4 games in a season since 2015. Scott Frost in his 3rd season here at his alma mater. This will be his first time facing Penn State. 9-17. Scott Frost's record as the head coach of the Cornhuskers. The junior, Jordan Stout, will kick things away for Penn State, who won the toss. They've opted to defer, and Stout has not allowed a kickoff return this season. Alante Brown is back deep for the Cornhuskers. 18th meeting between these programs, the 7th and 8th winningest programs in college football.
I got to tell you, partner, I envy you. I envy you because you've seen this place packed. And here we are today. We've got the cardboard cutouts. This is my first time in Nebraska, let alone at Memorial Stadium, and I just can't even imagine how much this place would be rocking right now, man. But we're going to have some fun. Forget about the records. You're going to see a great football game today.
Latest home opener for Nebraska in a long time. And we're underway, and Stout has done it again. He has now booted 19 straight touchbacks on kickoffs. So the big question is, who will start at quarterback?
There it is.
And we got the freshman, Luke McCaffrey, making his first start. Take a look at what he has done this season. He's 2nd on the team in passing and rushing, but he will get the start. Dedrick Mills alongside in the backfield. And it's Mills. Lowers his shoulder. Ellis Brooks makes the stop. But not before he picks up 5 yards.
And that's exactly what you need. Quarterback making his first start. Staying on schedule. Nice big 5-yard run on first down. Leaves you a lot of flexibility with your play call.
Under pressure. Rolls out. Throws. And he's got a man. Complete. Austin Allen, the tight end, makes the catch across midfield, and they go with tempo. And this is why Scott Frost wants him. He loves the tempo that McCaffrey brings.
Yeah, and you can see Allen does a great job hanging on there. Took a hip shot from Keaton Ellis.
Up the middle, Mills. And they just say, with McCaffrey, he gives them that spark. Gets guys lined up quicker. The offense moves quicker, which is what Scott Frost wants.
Yeah, Scott Frost, an offensive coordinator, Matt Lubick, that's exactly what they want. They want to be able to change tempo.
Quickly to the slot to Wan'Dale Robinson, and we should expect to call his name a lot today.
And a nice play call there. They get motion out across the formation. You've got Wan'Dale Robinson lined up in the slot. Wan'Dale Robinson, you're going to see him lined up in the backfield. You'll see him lined up on the outside. Versatile athlete, an explosive athlete. And one of those things, you talk about turnovers and you talk about the ability to create explosive plays. Wan'Dale Robinson is an explosive play waiting to happen.
And he's in the backfield, and we got a flag. Larry Smith is our referee today.
False start. Offense, number 57. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's on Ethan Piper.
And this is exactly what hurt Nebraska a week ago against Northwestern. They had very untimely penalties and some turnovers in the red zone. Got to avoid that today.
Design quarterback run. McCaffrey gets to the outside, and he's got himself a first down.
I love this from McCaffrey. This is designed to go up the middle, but he sees nothing is there, breaks this one to the outside, and with his speed, he's able to break contain. You really have to watch your angles coming up on a guy like Luke McCaffrey. We know about the McCaffrey family and that speed. Grandfather, silver medalist in the 100-meter dash in 1960.
Here's Mills. Right up the middle. Jesse Luketa makes the stop. 4-yard pickup from Mills. You know, Nebraska ranks 2nd in the Big Ten in rushing offense. We take a look at the Penn State defense. Here's McCaffrey again. Keeps it. Spins. He's got another first down. He's dropped inside the 20.
That was one of those plays where they're setting up something down the road. You can see McCaffrey takes off to the outside here. Big tight end. Austin Allen was on the outside. Getting a little bit of that run pass option look going right there. We'll see if they come back to that later.
10-yard pickup to the outside. Complete. This is Allen again, and the tight end.
All 6'8" of them.
Ooh, that's a big boy. That's a big boy.
Talk about matchup nightmares. 6'8". Now Penn State, Brent Pride, the defensive coordinator, he did say that they've got a 6'7" guy that they could use in practice to simulate the looks.
McCaffrey over the middle. Incomplete. He was looking for Wan'Dale Robinson. 3rd down and 6 coming for Nebraska. Keep in mind, the Cornhuskers have scored just 3 touchdowns so far this season and has not thrown a TD pass yet.
Just an inaccurate throw right there from McCaffrey. Didn't have an opportunity to set his feet because of the pressure right there. It was a little bit low, very, very much low to that throw to Wan'Dale Robinson.
McCaffrey over the middle. He's got a man open. Cade Warner dropped the football.
Well, the question here is going to be, was the knee down, or did the ball cross the plane of the goal line before the ball came out? I think what the referees normally do, try and give the benefit of the doubt to the defense. They don't want to try and call these things dead, but we're going to see what happens here on the replay. down now.
Stretch.
Yeah, he's down.
He's down.
Yeah, he's down, and it looks like that ball is going to be short of the plane of the goal line.
Knee down. Yep.
Down right
knee.
there.
And they're going to probably put that one, what, about the 1?
I think it may be inside the 1. Half-foot line. Where's Dean?
The
Where's
ruling on the
Dean?
field is a fumble recovered by Penn State. First down. Media, timeout.
That'd be a 13-yard pickup if Nebraska keeps the football.
The previous play is under further review.
So they'll take a look at this. We'll take a break. No score here in the first quarter. Welcome back. Let's get right out to Dean Blandino. Dean, what'd you see?
Yeah, so on the field, if they're not sure, they'll let it go, and then replay can come in, and you can see the knee. The left knee is clearly down. The ball is short of the goal line, still in possession of the runner. So a good overturn. It's going to be first and goal here.
First and goal. McCaffrey, the quarterback sneak. Nope. Official call just yet. Touchdown, Nebraska. Just their 4th touchdown of the season.
Great job by here by Luke McCaffrey, just kind of finding his way. And the mass of humanity gets the push, recreates the line of scrimmage, and McCaffrey gets it across the goal line.
Cornhuskers wanted a spark. They certainly got it with the freshman. 11 plays, 75 yards. On the opening drive, McCaffrey accounted for 69 of those yards, rushing and through the air. Connor Colt with the extra point. It is good. And the Cornhuskers jump out to a 7-0 lead. And I would suggest this is what Scott Frost wanted.
Exactly what he wanted, exactly what they saw. Luke McCaffrey led the Huskers down the field on the opening drive. Now Penn State will get their chance.
Luke McCaffrey dapping up his linemen as Nebraska on their opening drive go 11 plays, 75 yards, and the freshman with the touchdown run sneaks it in. 7-0 our score, just the 4th touchdown of the season for Nebraska. Connor Colt will kick things away. Here's Holmes. He's brought down at the 20-yard line. As our season refreshes is sponsored by Coors Light. Let's talk about Sean Clifford. You can see the completion percentage is down. So is the touchdown passes and the interceptions. The turnovers are up. Rushing TDs down. And how do we explain it, Robert?
Well, you never want to make excuses for somebody, and I'm sure Sean Clifford doesn't want excuses, but the offensive line play has been erratic. We know with Journey Brown and Noah Kane being out at running back, the running game hasn't been there, so they haven't been able to balance out the offense. He's been under pressure, and he's been making some poor decisions and poor throws.
Here's Devin Ford. Ford gets it over the right side. JoJo Doman makes the stop. 4-yard pickup. Penn State said they're going to give Nebraska a heavy dose of the run game.
And that's exactly what they need to do. They need to take some of that pressure off of Sean Clifford. He came into the game leading the team in carries as he carries the ball right here.
He's got it right there. And got back to the line of scrimmage. That's really about it. We take a look at Nebraska's defense.
Big Daniels in the middle, 340 pounds. When you have those true nose guards like that, so important to have one of those space eaters in the middle. Colin Miller, Will Honus back in this one, had been out. Luke Reimer, former walk-on, tremendous talent, has been playing great this season.
3rd and 5. Trips at the top of your screen. Nebraska shows as if they're bringing pressure. Clifford steps up. He's got a first down. Cam Taylor-Britt, the first to meet him.
A nice job on this play by Sean Clifford. you're going to see they were able to get some pressure by a little loop stunt. You can see Miller coming in, but Sean Clifford does a nice job recognizing where the pressure is going to be, anticipating that pressure, taking off, and getting the first down.
From their own 39. Empty set to the outside, and it's complete on the outside to Daniel George.
And this wide receiving core, so young. You've got two true freshmen out there. Daniel George, just a sophomore. A young group of receivers, but a nice throw there. Nice, quick, decisive throw from Sean Clifford.
6-yard pickup.
Dotson manned up on the bottom of the screen here. This could be an opportunity to try and get a shot.
And Clifford keeps it across midfield. And brought down at the 45-yard line.
Little zone read here. And that backside does a nice job. He does a nice job navigating the defense. Of course, you don't want him to lead the team in carries, but when he gets some of those opportunities, it puts a lot of stress on a defense to account for quarterback run.
He picked up 11. Garrett Nelson makes the stop here. Grabs Devin Ford. Give him 4 yards and look at 2nd and 6.
We saw this Nebraska defense against Minnesota a year ago. Eric Chenander, the defensive coordinator, you can tell he's so much happier with this defense, just a different level of intensity. But this Penn State offense doing a nice job on this drive so far.
Clifford to the air. And picked off. Cam Taylor-Britt, best cover corner. And knocked out of bounds at the 14-yard line.
Britt is reading Sean Clifford on this one all the way. This is a long throw outside of the numbers. Clifford just not get enough on that one. And you're going to see it's going to be the coverage outside on Dotson. Dotson makes his break. But Britt sees it all the way.
53-yard return for Nebraska. And we've talked about decision-making, and that was one of the things Coach Franklin said he needed to see better out of his quarterback.
Well, there's decision-making, but then there's also execution and
accuracy.
The cardinal sin for a quarterback on an outbreaking route is to throw that ball to the inside like that, allow the defense to come underneath.
Wan'Dale Robinson with the carry. One of the things Nebraska said is they got to get their playmaker the football, Wan'Dale Robinson. So you're going to see him in the slot. You'll see him lined up. You'll see him at running back as well. And he's in the backfield now. And they give him the football. He's brought down at the 5-yard line. Ellis Brooks makes the stop.
Yeah, Wan'Dale Robinson, not the biggest fellow in the world. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. And Wan'Dale Robinson does a nice job getting behind his blockers on that one. And they hand it to him again on an inside run. Inside of the red zone. You don't see that a whole lot with a running back the size of Wan'Dale Robinson, but that's the faith that offensive coordinator Matt Lubick, of course, head coach Scott Frost have in this young man.
B.J. Mustipher makes the stop. 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal, and this is where you have the 6'8" tight end. Sometimes you get run action down here to try and draw defenders up and then release that big man.
Robinson, and he is gang tackled by some Nittany Lions. Jason Owe was the first to meet him, and he lost a yard.
Sniff that one out. Hits one of his linemen as he's trying to break on that one. Tried a little inside zone. Just didn't get enough push on that one.
Here's Owe, named a captain this week. Boy, they love him. 3rd and goal. McCaffrey looking. Over the middle, in and out of the hands of Cade Warner.
Cade Warner just tries to let this one get into his body. Well, that's one that he's going to want back.
Right there.
Now, you do see from Luke McCaffrey a little bit of wobble on that ball. He does not throw the greatest ball, and maybe sometimes the receivers try and body a ball like that a little bit more because it's not as clean, not as easy to get the traditional triangle with the fingers and catch that thing with the hands. He tried to body that one and paid for it.
22-yard field goal is good. This is the Huskers' largest lead of the season. Thanks to Britt, 10-0, Cornhuskers.
Terry's money. Man, I grew up a Steelers fan in Cleveland, of all places. Sacrilege, I know, but Terry, so much fun watching him, so much fun now being kind of a colleague of Terry's.
Von Lee, just got drilled. Wow. At the 15-yard line.
Think this team brought some energy today?
Take a listen to this.
Hey, man, buy the ticket and take the ride.
Yes, Nico Cooper. Laying the wood here in Nebraska. I tell you what, Scott Frost has got this team fired up.
This team just plays with a completely different energy than they did a year ago. And as Scott Frost said, these guys just need to get a win to get some wind into their sails.
Clifford, play action, and throws that one away in the direction of Parker Washington.
That's a dangerous throwaway right there. I'm not even completely convinced that he was trying to throw that ball away. He may be trying to complete that pass and just throws it inbounds. If you're going to throw a pass like that to throw it away, you got to make sure that that thing gets out of bounds so that somebody doesn't come off of their receiver and make another pick.
Here's Ford. Up the middle. Given 3 yards. Colin Miller with the stop.
Colin Miller does such a nice job recognizing and triggering, as Eric Chenander likes to say. Leave what you see. Does a nice job anticipating where the ball carrier is going to be, scrapes exactly where it needs to get, and wraps to bring him down.
Here's 3rd and 6. The tight end Fryermuth in the slot. And he's looking for him, and he makes the catch. Markel Dismute with the hit, 7-yard pickup.
Good clean hit, nice delivery here by Sean Clifford. Dismute comes in. Thought there might have been a chance that they would review that one for targeting, but he does a great job of targeting with the shoulder pad with a nice hard hit. Great job to hang on to that one for the first down.
Ford. Once again, Colin Miller there. He's one of the leaders on this defense. And the coaches love how they just say he just drastically has improved. He's Mr. Consistent for this Cornhusker defense.
It's so important as a player. It's not just how good you are at your best, but how far do you drop when sometimes you don't quite have it. Colin Miller certainly improved. Nice job this Penn State offense staying on schedule here. So much in the playbook on a 2nd and 4.
Ford got it, escapes, and turns nothing into something. 2-yard pickup after he was hit in the backfield.
Ty Robinson does a nice job on this one. Big fella right here. Look at the little swim move, splitting the double team, and getting there and at least slowing down the feet of Devin Ford. And that's why a nose tackle, interior defensive lineman, the stats aren't always great, but they affect the game, especially when they get penetration like that.
And Ford again, he's got a first down and close to midfield. 11-yard pickup for Devin Ford, the sophomore out of Virginia.
And the Penn State fans are going to love to see this one. Nice little cut here. Watch the little jump cut from Devin Ford. What I love about that one is rather than moving laterally after the jump cut, gets into that first vertical seam, gets upfield.
Tucked into the backfield for the Nittany Lions. Play action. That one a little high, but we got a flag. He's looking at Jahan Dotson. DiCaprio Boodle.
I think they're going to get DiCaprio Boodle here for a little bit of hold. Saw a little bit of that jersey getting pulled out for Jahan Dotson.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 13. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I'm not sure it would have been number 13. It's number 7 there. You can see that jersey pull out. When they see that tug, the official that made that call had the perfect angle really to see the jersey getting pulled off of the shoulder pad there. Whenever they see that jersey get pulled like that, that flag's coming out.
First down for Penn State. Clifford keeps it. 8-yard pickup. And lost the football, but he was down.
He was down and got it back anyway. Nice call here from offensive coordinator Kirk Soraka. Clifford just takes off upfield and see if that. Well, I don't really. It doesn't really matter if he was down. He recovered the ball anyway.
2nd and 2. Ford stumbles. Check that, Kevon Lee. That's another first down.
We'll be talking about Journey Brown later and the revelation about the health condition that has forced him to retire from football. But Noah Cain goes down. These young backs starting to get a little bit more comfortable. This offense starting to hum.
Clifford complete. Fryermuth. Maybe a yard as Will Honus makes the stop.
Nice job here from Clifford. Defense brought a little pressure, a little blitz off at the edge from JoJo Domann. He does a nice job getting the ball around Domann. Domann tried to jump up to bat that thing out of the air. Clifford with a nice ball to his favorite target, I'd say, or at least the security blanket in Fryermuth.
Over the middle, complete. Parker Washington. This freshman with the catch. Another first down. They move the sticks. 15-yard pickup for Penn State.
We're going to get the play action here. This is so tough to defend. A nice job anticipating where that hole is going to be, where that soft spot is going to be. No problems on the accuracy there. And more of the problems really from Sean Clifford on the accuracy haven't come on the routes crossing in front of him. It's really been more on the touch. A lot of overthrows.
Inside the red zone now. Clifford again with the keep and brought down by JoJo Domann.
Domann with the closing speed on that one. Able to pursue from the backside. You're going to see him come in the formation. He sees Fryermuth coming down. He has contained on the backside, but saw that Sean Clifford had that ball. Nice closing speed, the acceleration there from Domann.
2nd and 11. Lee trying to get to the outside. And Nebraska not having it.
It's Domann again, fighting through a block to make the tackle. You're going to see Domann engaged with the block here on the outside. Fights through it, gets the feet, and again, may not get credit for the tackle. He's the reason that play didn't work.
Penn State go empty set. 5 wide. And that's the end of the first quarter.
This is the end of the first quarter.
Nebraska score a touchdown on their opening drive. They get an interception and a field goal. And they've got the largest lead of the season for them. 10-0 our score, second quarter, when we come back. Beginning of the second quarter here in Lincoln. Cornhuskers up 10-0. It's the largest lead of the season for Nebraska. Nittany Lions looking at 3rd down.
No Fryermuth on the field right now. Brent Strange, number 86.
Clifford, plenty of time, and throws it away.
Oh. Strange wide open in the corner of the end zone on that one, and Sean Clifford just missed him.
4th and 11 from the 16.
Penn State, 8 of 13 in the red zone so far this season with 7 touchdowns. So here's Jake Pinniger, the junior out of Iowa.
Well, you see Strange breaking wide open.
This will be from 33 yards out. And he hooks in. So the Nittany Lions on the board. 10-3 our score in the second quarter. Ten to 3 our score here in the second quarter. Penn State goes 13 plays, 66 yards, and get themselves a 33-yard field goal. Sean Clifford talking with his offensive coordinator. Jordan Stout will kick things away. Alante Brown back deep.
And I'm sure Kirk Soraka, the offensive coordinator, pointing out to Sean Clifford there the missed opportunity, but kind of a push, if you will, with the last drive. Nebraska got down into the red zone, and Cade Warner dropped that ball at the back of the end zone. They were only able to get 3 out of that one. So 2 missed opportunities for 7, but at least the other team did it too.
See, the football is blown off the tee a couple of times. So.
You want your finger on that ball like that?
Yeah, I don't know about that, bro. Look at Jordan, be like, hey, make sure you get this ball, man.
Just don't do the Lucy and pull it away.
Exactly. And it's a flag. So some good field position coming for Nebraska and Luke McCaffrey.
Kick out of bounds by the kicking team. The ball we placed at the 35-yard line. First down. Media timeout.
Luke McCaffrey and the Cornhuskers have had the football twice, and they've scored twice. 3rd offensive possession when we come back. Adrian Martinez looking on. You know, he's just one of 13 two-time captains in Nebraska history. Luke McCaffrey now running the offense for Nebraska.
And Scott Frost wears his heart on his sleeve. You can tell he has a genuine affection for Adrian Martinez. He's done a lot for this program. This is a tough decision going with McCaffrey in that one.
Marvin Scott seeing his first action. He gets the carry. Give him a couple of yards. 2nd and 8. It's Coach Frost.
Motion away from Wan'Dale Robinson. See if they're going to bring him across the formation. They do.
McCaffrey complete. Brandon Smith brings him down, and we got a flag.
Number 1, Wan'Dale Robinson.
Let's see if they're going to call that one on Brandon. He has him wrapped up, and then
just with the forward progress stopped like that, I'm sure they blew
Personal
the
foul.
whistle.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 12. 15-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down.
Yeah, just no reason to throw him down to the ground like that. You want your players to be physical, obviously, but you got to play smart. get 15 yards out of that one. Could have had Nebraska in a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7 situation right there.
Jet sweeps. Xavier Betts. Look at Betts turn on the Jets. To the house. Touchdown. First touchdown of the season for the freshman as he goes 45 yards.
Nice job by Betts, reading the blocking here. As wide receivers try and get more comfortable as they're getting into an offense. Maybe the hands aren't there for the big-time college throws. So get those little bump passes to him. Still counts for the passing yards, too. Pat stats for Luke McCaffrey.
Connor Culp with the extra point. Nebraska has had the football 3 times. They've scored all 3 times. This time, Xavier Betts showing off the Jets. Cornhuskers over the Nittany Lions by 14. Xavier Betts, the freshman. He's from Bellevue, Nebraska here. His first touchdown of the season. Line drive. Here's Ford. Across the 20.
All right, Matt Lubick talked about creating big plays. Well, how do big plays happen? Everybody has got to do their job. And you're going to see great blocking here on the outside, especially this block right here. This one really isn't easy because it's not quite as hard as an open field tackle, but you've got a defender in space getting on him right there, and that was the final block, the springing block that allowed the touchdown to happen. And you can see everybody all pumped up on the side.
Hey, look, they love Luke. He's certainly giving them a spark.
You got to love that energy.
Ford over the right side. 3-yard pickup.
No panic from this Penn State offense. Offensive coordinator Kirk Soraka talked about the way that Eric Chenander's defense here at Nebraska, defensive coordinator, they force you to be patient. So work on the run, balance out the offense, take the shot if you get it, and unfortunately weren't able to convert with Strange wide open on that last shot that they had once they got it down into the red zone.
To the outside, and Dotson. About a yard shy of a first down. JoJo Doman with the stop.
Boy, Dotson, really a dangerous threat out there. You can see breaks a tackle after the catch, or almost broke the tackle there. Not just good.
How about this new quarterback, Will Levis. Coach Franklin. You hear the guys at defense saying, new quarterback, new quarterback. Will Levis.
They talk about him being the physical runner. Let's see if he can convert.
And he's got himself a first down, and Nittany Lions certainly needed that one.
Well, 6'3", 222. They talked about him being a more powerful runner. And this, quite frankly, if you're the offensive coordinator, Kirk Soraka, you know what kind of hits Sean Clifford has been taking all season long, getting sacked. Those are the kind of runs if you don't need to expose him to those, then don't. And if you know you have a backup that can take those carries, but that also can throw, why not give him his chance?
Clifford back in. 1st and 10 for the Nittany Lions. Here's Ford. Breaks the tackle. And brought down at the 39-yard line. Deontay Williams with the stop.
Nice job by Sean Clifford there, going up and making the check. And there are different types of leverage. Leverage can be a numbers advantage. It can be a position advantage. Saw an advantage there on the left side of the line. Checked it to the run right there.
Clifford keeps it under pressure. Fumble and scoop by Deontay Williams. A scoop and score for Nebraska. And when it rains, it pours for Penn State. quarterback position.
You see Deontay Williams, he was lined up on the edge of the line of scrimmage right there. He does a nice job reaching his arm around on that one, popping the ball away from Clifford, having the awareness, of course, to get the scoop and score.
26-yard fumble recovery and score by Williams. Culp with the extra point. Defense coming up big as well for Nebraska.
And defensive coordinator Eric Chenander said, I want 11 guys rallying to the ball with bad intentions. That's what you saw right there from Deontay Williams, converting for the touchdown. James Franklin not happy with what he saw there.
24-3 is our score here in the second quarter. Will Levis to be warming up, and looks like we might see a lot more Will Levis here going forward. Turnovers have been an issue for Penn State. And today,
you just can't do it. And really two things wrong on the first throw here from Sean Clifford. Threw it too high, threw it too far to the inside, allowed the interception. And you have to know when to fold them and when to hold on to them tighter. When you get a defender grasping you like that so deep in the pocket, you have to protect the ball. You have to understand that that ball is exposed. I know you want to make plays, try and escape and get the ball downfield, but sometimes you have to try and learn to live to fight another day, and that's why this change was made.
so here's the redshirt sophomore, Levis. And here's Sean Clifford, the junior out of Cincinnati. Now listen, he's got 8 turnovers on the season now. Penn State only had 8 all last season last year for Clifford, so you can see why they've made the change. Keziah Holmes with the carry, 5-yard pickup.
And good job there. This is exactly where you want to
play
be.
too. There's some hitting there. Let's see.
Personal foul.
Targeting.
Defense, number 9, targeting. That play is under further review.
Markel Dismute. What they're going to take a look at.
Well, it's a ball carrier, so not going to be defined as a defenseless player. So you look for the indicators. If he comes in launching, if he makes contact with the crown of the helmet, you make forcible contact with the crown of the helmet, and that's targeting, no matter where you hit the player. Oh, yeah.
Led with the head.
Yeah, you saw the lower in the head right there, made helmet-to-helmet contact.
Well, let's bring in our rules expert, Dean Blandino. Dean, what'd you see here?
Yeah, so definitely lowered the head. The only question I have is the contact with the crown of the helmet, or is it with the shoulder? It looks like it's with the shoulder, and if that's the case, then it has to be a defenseless player. And since we had a runner, you can see here the runner still going forward, clearly lowers the head. I just don't think he gets him with the crown, and that's going to be the issue here.
Yeah, and Dean, to your point right there, on that last replay, it looks like the helmets do make contact, but then is it really just a subjective determination as to whether that's actually forcible contact at that point with the helmet? If it's just incidental contact with the helmet?
Yeah, that's the key. That's the last piece. You have to look for, does he lower the head? Yes. Is he attacking? Yes. And then you have to determine, did he make forcible contact with the crown of the helmet? And that's going to be the key element to this play. And if they can't confirm all elements, they have to overturn it.
Well, I think you made a
After further
good
review,
point, the shoulder.
there is no foul for targeting.
There you go. They overturn it, and it goes back to your point you made, Dean, about the shoulder.
That's it, yeah. Ultimately, they determine, like what we were saying, is the shoulder made the contact, not the crown of the helmet.
All right, Dean, thank you.
Thanks, Dean.
So it'll be third. Third and 1 for Penn State. Isaiah Holmes in the backfield.
Boy, a little confusion on the personnel right there. Got a new quarterback in there. Got some young players at wide receiver. But you got Will Levis, a powerful runner. They call his own number.
Yep, he's got it. Dives.
That one's close.
Man, he's right there at the line.
This is the old left foot, right foot, and he had to dive for that one. It'll be interesting seeing on replay.
The ruling
here.
on the field is the runner is short of the line to gain.
If that
Knee down. Yep, knee down.
Well, that was close. It looked like he dove just before his knee hit on that one, but they may go for it anyway. They're not even gonna wait. They're not waiting to see what the review is going to say. We need to go for this, or at least try and drive him off sides.
4th and half a yard. 3 of 7 on the season on 4th down. Here's Ford, breaks loose. Holmes. On 4th and half a yard, Keziah Holmes breaks through.
Always the danger in these short yardage situations. You've got everybody at the line of scrimmage. You do not make the tackle at the line of scrimmage. An opportunity to get that running back up to the last level of defense. That's why they call them safeties.
36-yard pickup for Penn State. Holmes again.
Well, we haven't seen a
6-yard gain, second
throw yet from Will Levis. See if we're going to see one, but this Penn State offense doing a great job being physical with the run game right now.
And again, they keep riding Holmes. Then Stilley with the stop, 2-yard pickup.
Boy, and such a different environment to get your first extended play time when you don't have fans on the road. So different. You know, home environments and home advantages are so different in this COVID era when we don't have fans jammed in the stands, making all kinds of noise.
Here's Ford. And they're going to mark him short.
Ford does a nice job fighting through the initial hit on that one. Good body lead. Keeps those legs churning, but he's a little bit short. They went before on 4th. I don't see why you don't go now. Down 24-3, and that's what we're seeing from James Franklin's team.
4th and 1. They had 4th and half a yard and picked up 36.
Well, they get that trips formation with a tight end on that side. You want a numbers advantage on the left-hand side of the line. That's what you have right now.
Jet sweep, no. Levis keeps it. And gets hit by Colin Miller right there at the first down marker.
Yeah, that's a way to say it. Again, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It's not all fun and games. They do a nice job, though. You bring the motion to affect the second level of the defense, try and get a little bit of movement, but it was going to be Will Levis all the way, and talked about that numbers advantage. You get that trips formation on the other side, have all those defenders shifted to one side, and you get that numbers advantage.
Levis through the air, Fryer move. And he's got himself a first down. Dismuke with the stop.
With Fryer move, such a dangerous player.
For defensive injury.
Got a Cornhusker down on the field. Here's Fryersmuth. He's their second leading receiver. Now has had a catch in 29 straight games. for Penn State. It looks like DeAndre Thomas, the junior out of Oklahoma, is the injured player for Nebraska. Playing tackle there. Oh. His back of that left leg. Oh.
Yeah, C.J. Thorpe just comes in there, and, you know, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. It's a dirty play.
Oh.
You know, the guy's on his stomach, and you go in to jump on top of him, and
hit that leg back.
he gets that foot and hyper flexes that knee. Just hate to see things like that. You know, it's one thing to take a, you know, to be physical in the game. I understand that. But, you know, a guy's laying like that in a vulnerable position on the ground, out of the play, and you take a shot. You know, you don't know what happened before that, but to tell you the truth, I don't care. It doesn't excuse a play like that.
So 9 plays, 66 yards. Penn State has gone. 8 of those plays have been on the ground, just 1 through the air. Will Levis, the new quarterback for Penn State. Jahan Dotson is their playmaker at the top of your screen. Levis keeps it. Will Honas makes the stop.
Same formation, same motion, same play that we saw on the short yardage play conversion. And as you mentioned, Dotson isolated on the other side of the formation. We're going to see it again.
2nd and goal from the 7. And that's 4. He ran into a red brick wall. Darius Payne. First to meet him.
You're going to see Dotson come in motion here this time. You know, the Nebraska defense just kind of stuffing the box, loading the box up. We haven't seen a pass yet. Here we have 3rd down. See if we're going to see a pass from Levis on this one.
Fryer move in the slot.
And Dotson in the slot as well. It's a dangerous player to have in there that can head to the post or to the corner.
Levis looking. It's too high. And a little bit behind Dotson. And we got another flag. This one's getting physical.
Same guy. C.J. Thorpe again. Again, you want guys playing with fire. This is a game that is played with a lot of emotion. Got to be physical. Maybe a little bit of an attempt at payback on that one from the Nebraska defensive line.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 69. This is his first foul that leads towards disqualification. The result of the play was an incomplete pass. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. The down counts. 4th down.
So that means 1 more on C.J. Thorpe. And he's ejected from the game.
At right guard. Guy's down, but he stays on top of him. You know, I get it. I get it. You want to be physical. You want to intimidate your opponent. More of a taunting than it was right there.
This is from 40 yards out. Jake Pinniger is good. He's 2 of 2. 24-6 our score here in Lincoln. All right, Stoner, thank you. Jordan Stout will kick things away.
Great to see our crew back in the big Fox Noon kickoff studio, too, after a week hiatus.
Another touchback. So here comes Luke McCaffrey in Nebraska. I mean, you want to talk about production. The freshman has done it. I mean, every time they've touched the football, they put points on the board.
Yeah, they've done a nice job, and offense coordinator Matt Lubick has talked about the way that Luke McCaffrey, the way that he can get up to the line of scrimmage, makes quick decisions. They can utilize tempo. I've seen a lot of creativity, too. They've done a nice job distributing the ball to a lot of players in a lot of different ways.
McCaffrey through the air. That one tipped and nearly intercepted. Jesse Luketa with the tip.
Boy, dangerous right here. Remember in the Northwestern game last week, it was a low throw down in the red zone. Ball may have actually gone off of a helmet that caused an interception right there. He just never saw Luketa. Nice job. Brent Pry does such an excellent job with his defense. Brings pressure in a lot of different ways from a lot of different looks.
To the outside. That one complete. Levi Falk.
McCaffrey's pass complete to number 88, Levi Falk.
A lot of big plays happen. Big plays happen within the structure of an offense when you get some blocks downfield or when you get guys just making people miss. And that's exactly what you saw from Falk right there. Catches the ball, makes a defender miss, gets upfield, gets a lot of extra yardage.
And it looks like they drew somebody off sides, too. 21-yard pickup on that one.
Offside. Defense, number 97 with contact. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on P.J. Mustafa. See with McCaffrey, 7 of 10 for a $113 through the air and a touchdown.
Cross the 50, 1st and 5. This is big shot opportunity. You see it a lot of times, offense take a chance.
McCaffrey's going to keep it. Cuts back and thrown down by Jason Owe. No gain. Jason Owe said no way.
Hey, no way. You see Luke McCaffrey turn
No
it
way,
up here.
freshman.
Owe really overran that one a little bit. But nice, strong hands. Leans back in to McCaffrey to make the tackle.
They put Wan'Dale Robinson in the backfield alongside McCaffrey. He's got the rock now. And watch Wan'Dale go. Lamont Wade trips him up. You can see why they got to get that young man the football.
Hey, you can see that acceleration. Nice job on the vision. Plants, gets vertical. Again, not the biggest guy in the world, but a lot of want to and a lot of speed. That suddenness. You can see that acceleration, but you can see the nice change of motion getting upfield.
McCaffrey throwing it incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Austin Allen.
Well, if he's going to make that throw to Allen, he's got to make it earlier. You get the boot action on that one. That's what the play's designed to do. He was just a little bit late on that throw. You know the defender's there, but you have to know that you got a 6'8" tight end, and you get that ball, lead him to the outside on that one. Get rid of that ball right away so that Allen doesn't have to worry about the sideline and might have been able to turn that one upfield.
Robinson again, the ball carrier. Mustafa the stop. Brings him down at 39, a yard pickup. 3rd down coming. Let's see if Penn State can get a stop here coming into this game. You know, Penn State has always dug themselves into holes like they've done here in the first half. Coming into the game, they've been outscored 66-20 in the first half of football games.
Good opportunity here. Again, talking about defensive coordinator Brent Pry. Likes to show pressure coming from one way or bring late pressure.
Quarterback draw.
Luketa again on that one. Watching for that quarterback draw all the way right there. See Luketa does a nice job taking away the options because he gets so close to the line of scrimmage, doesn't let McCaffrey get up into the line. McCaffrey gets up, takes off a little bit sooner without Luketa. filling that hole, he might have an opportunity to go left or right. Nowhere to go. Get him playing in the phone booth. That's exactly what Lucetta did. Nice job, able to bring McCaffrey down.
This is 4th down. Let's see if they try to draw him off. They'll take the penalty and probably kick it away.
Delay a game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, I tell you what, we talked about Luke. Boy, Mom and Dad, Lisa and Ed, all the brothers played Division I football. And of course, big brother Christian is probably the best versatile back in the National Football League right now.
Yeah, and we talked about the grandfather. 1960 silver medalist in the Olympics in Rome. There's Ed enjoying the game, family and friends. Well, not all friends, but you get family at the games, which is kind of cool that they can come in the stands and safely socially distance. And man, must have been fun watching those kids grow up.
No, isn't that something?
There's nothing like seeing your kids go and perform, and so much better than anything that you can do in your own athletic career. Seeing your children succeed in anything, it's got to be the greatest feeling to see a bunch of them have such tremendous success.
So here's 1st and 10 for the Nittany Lions. Levis looking, and that one's complete. Parker Washington makes the catch. Keep in mind, Penn State will receive the football at the beginning of the 2nd half.
Washington's going to come across the formation. See him right there.
19-yard pickup for the Nittany Lions.
Nice job hitting them in stride there and giving them a chance at least to make some run after the catch.
Levis takes off down at the 34. They're going to give him a gain of 6. That one through the air, and Freiermuth incomplete.
You can see Levis throws that one to the inside. He understands that Freiermuth has a defender squatting out in the corner. That's JoJo Doman. Throws it to the inside, but Doman able to separate ball from player on that one.
3rd down. 5 here for the Nittany Lions. From their own 34. Levis, incomplete. He was looking at Devin Ford before it hadn't turned his head yet.
Credit Eric Chenander on that one. They're going to bring the pressure. Try and force a quick throw. That's exactly what you saw. More likely that one gets intercepted than completed. Just kind of threw that one away.
First punt. So Jordan Stout comes in. Wan'Dale Robinson standing at his own 27. First punt here of the afternoon. That one's short. Here's Cam Taylor-Britt down the sideline. And I tell you what, Nebraska's in business with a $1:39 left here on the clock.
Boy, they sure do. A short punt there, and a nice job by them. That's scouting. That's understanding that sometimes you see those short kicks so that you get an extra returner in there. Double returners, and fields it cleanly. Almost had an opportunity to take this one back inside. Some good blocking on that one. They are in business.
Yeah.
Just about where they were. I mean, they're almost 10 yards ahead of where that last drive ended.
Just a 19-yard punt. That one went off the side of the foot. Here's Tompkins in running back. McCaffrey keeps it, throws to the outside to Robinson.
Brought the corner blitz on this one. That leaves you a man short.
Oof. They could have called something on that one, huh?
Good at. They could have called a horse collar and a late hit on that one.
It's Curtis Jacobs. Ronald Tompkins. He's your running back. He gets the call. Adisa Isaac makes the stop for Penn State.
Timeout.
Looks like we had a Nittany lying
Officials
down.
timeout for a defensive injury.
Don't forget, coming up, the State Farm halftime show. Rob Stone, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, Coach Urban Meyer.
Yeah, I don't know if we can call him Reggie anymore, though. He's fine now.
Oh, is that right?
He's fine. He said, Coach, you got fast. I got fine. There was somebody on Twitter reaching out and said Reggie Bush was going to be fine at 88. So Coach was talking about fast, the tempo that they have in a game, and Reggie said, I'm fine. So, you know, we got Leinart and Brady Quinn. Pretty boys ain't got nothing on fine.
Larry and his crew having discussion. 3rd and 3 coming for Nebraska.
Please reset the game clock to 1:24. The previous play was a runner out of bounds.
So we get the clock straightened out.
Thank you.
Here's 3rd and 3 from the 35. McCaffrey. Right there to Robinson. No gain.
And this is one of those situations where defense says, where is number 1? And you get the feeling that Nebraska
This is the first of the half. 30 seconds in length.
may have been going for this one anyway on 4th down. We'll see.
Penn State to call a timeout. See their defensive coordinator, Brent Pry.
That's a good job. I mean, you understand the situation, you understand the personnel, and then the likely calls that are going to come out of those groupings. Brent Pry does such a great job with this defense. You look at what this defense has done over the years. They've been tremendous. They've especially been a tremendous pressure defense. They produce a lot of sacks. In the last 6 years, only 2 teams in the country have more sacks.
Here's Robinson. Cuts it back inside. Got a first down. 6-yard pickup for Nebraska.
Nice job here. Line really did a great job. Cam Jurgens beating up.
Good stick there by Lucetta.
Timeout. Nebraska.
Nebraska now will call a
That's the first
timeout.
of the half. 30 seconds.
Of course, the freshman Luke McCaffrey getting his first start.
He gets his first start. Really making some great plays here at the pass to Allen, the tight end. Of course, we know about his running ability. He's played wide receiver and running back this season. A little fake RPO. Nice feel for where to get on the quarterback sneak to get it into the end zone. And that's the thing about growing up in athlete families like that. You see the younger brothers haven't had an opportunity to watch the success of older players, and of course they would play against each other, really understand how to be poised in performance.
McCaffrey under pressure. Just throws that one away. So far, 4 drives he's led. 3 scores, this one pending.
It gets flushed out here, just on on the run like this, just not able to get enough on the ball to get it all the way back to his receiver, who was Levi Falk.
That's Robinson in motion. McCaffrey steps up and gets that one to Marvin Scott. How did the freshman get that one away?
Playmakers just find a way to make plays. And you see guys like Patrick Mahomes, and just the ability to escape right here, toss that one out there left-handed.
This guy, he's inside the 10. Timeout.
Timeout. Nebraska has their second charge. 30 seconds in length.
How about some Luke magic here?
Yeah, it doesn't panic. Just expect the pressure. He's going to be taking a big hit on that one. He knows that. Fred Hansard's there. So, okay, I know I'm going to get hit, but I have an opportunity to make a play, get it into a playmaker's hands. That's exactly what Luke McCaffrey did right there.
You know, I go back to something Coach Frost told us. He said, listen, we are so close, and this has been the most challenging 2.5 years of my coaching career, but I'm so positive because I know we're on the cusp of really turning this thing around, and so far in this first half, he's seen the fruits of that labor. Here's Scott. Third down coming now.
Go with the tempo. Go with the tempo.
From the 7. High snap. Scott got it. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, if you're going to go tempo, execution has to be perfect. And, of course, it all starts with the snap. And
Timeout. Nebraska.
High
That's the
snap.
third and final
you
charge.
get that
Timeout.
snap up there, and that throws all the timing off. Scott's supposed to be there a little bit sooner, but had a couple free runners on that one anyway. As you're told sometimes as a running back, BYOB. That's be your own blocker.
Make somebody miss, huh?
That's right. Hey,
Make somebody miss.
Hey, we can't block them all. Sometimes you got to make the ones that don't get blocked missed. And that's what Scott at least tried to do on that one.
So here's Connor Colt, the senior out of Arizona. Transfer from Louisiana State. This is from 25 yards out. And it is good. And the Cornhuskers add to their lead. It is now 21. 4 possessions, 4 scores for Nebraska. State Farm halftime show. Rob Stone, Reggie Bush, Matt Liner, Urban Meyer. They're coming up right after this break. So far, it's been a Husker domination here at Memorial Stadium, the home opener for Nebraska, 27-6. The score as we begin the third quarter. Brian Custer alongside Robert Smith. And go back to what Scott Frost told us. He said, listen, if I'm going to make a quarterback change, I need a spark out of my offense and for this team. He certainly got it with Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah, he did, and it's exactly what he got out of Luke McCaffrey a week ago against Northwestern, and the very same reason that he said he wanted to make that change. He wanted to see that spark. He wanted to see the quick decision-making from his quarterback and more accuracy, and that's exactly what you saw from Luke McCaffrey in the first half, as well as his dual threat ability. And of course, he's more than dual threat. We saw him play receiver and running back, but at the quarterback position and in this offense, you want a guy that's going to be able to operate it at multiple tempos and have that accuracy. Nice job stuffing that one into the end zone. But of course, the turnovers, a big difference in this one in the first half. And the reason that Sean Clifford's not in the game anymore, on that first throw, made a couple of mistakes, threw that one too high, didn't get it far enough outside, threw the interception there, and then you get the pressure in your face on this one. You have to protect the football. Got to know that the defender is going to try and knock that thing away. Look, he's trying to make a play on that one. Wants to try and escape and get the ball downfield, but sometimes you have to just try and fight to live another day.
Well, this is the story, the quarterback story of the first half here. Luke McCaffrey getting his first career start. He's been phenomenal for the Cornhuskers. 10 of 15 for 132, a touchdown, no turnovers, but Sean Clifford got the start for Penn State. Turned the football over 5 of 8, and Will Levis comes in to spell him. You can see what he's done. By the way, this is only the second time that Nebraska has led a Big Ten team by 21 or more points under Scott Frost, thanks in part to the freshman Luke McCaffrey. Here's the first half stats. 203 total yards of offense by Nebraska, and Penn State with 191. They've certainly run the rock well. Now they need to cut down on the turnovers and put some points on the board. See Clifford big up in his teammates, trying to get these guys fired up. Penn State will receive the football here to begin the second half.
Yeah, we need to see him throw the football here better in this second half. And you talk about the numbers that determine the outcome of most football games. It's going to be the turnovers, and it's going to be explosive plays. Penn State did a great job establishing that run with Levis in the game. He's a big physical quarterback that can run the football, but they've got to be able to drive the ball downfield, especially as this game goes on with the score the way that it is.
This is Devin Ford across the 20. Brought down at the 29. 19-yard return. Here's Will Levis. 2 of 5 for 29 yards through the air. Ran it 6 times for 15 yards. Sean Clifford started this game. We'll have to look on. First and 10 for the Nittany Lions. Down 21 here to begin the second half. Pressure off the edge. Over the middle, crossing route. Keandre Lambert-Smith. And he's across midfield. 20-yard pickup for the Nittany Lions.
Nice job by Ford. Watch him come across the formation. Sees this. Picks up the block on the blitzer. JoJo Doman right there. We said it. Will Levis. Can he make those throws? Nice throw right there on the skinny post.
Looks. Levis keeps it. Spins. And brought down at the 46. Garrett Nelson makes the stop for Nebraska.
This is just what Penn State needed for a start in this second half. No panic in this team. See Levis leading a nice drive right here. That big physical run on first down makes a big difference.
Here's Ford. Garrett Nelson again, another stop. That's enough for a first down. 6-yard pickup. Move the sticks.
Ford does a nice job there. Able to carry Garrett Nelson on that one. Nelson kind of midpointing that zone read with Levis. Trying to read him. Thinking that the give was the option there. Trying to fall off to make that play.
Here's Levis again. Will Honas. 2-yard pickup for Levis.
Not had a chance to talk much about Dotson today. Have to think that Penn State's going to fight their way back into this one. He's going to have to make a big play at some point.
Tom Dotson at the top of your screen there. That one's too low for Parker Washington.
Too low and too far inside on that one from Will Levis, and really Just tries to get that thing out a little bit too quickly.
Well, there was 2 edicts by Coach Franklin. I got to get the football to Jahan Dotson and Pat Fryermuth. Dotson at the bottom of your screen, Fryermuth in the slot at the top.
Singled up, and the safety on the other side of the field.
Levis looks. Parker, Washington, incomplete. Deontay Williams. He got the sack, the scoop and score in the first half. Makes the play.
This ball might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Yep, you're right.
See that trajectory change there. That's what those defensive linemen are taught. You're not going to be able to get home. Those hands up, try and knock that thing down.
Here's Jordan Stout. He's going to come in and look for the field goal here.
Well, we saw the way that he kicks off. He certainly has the leg for it.
I think his career long is 56. This one's too short on the right. This is Cam Taylor-Britt. And we may have an Alabama-Auburn situation here.
The kick 6?
Exactly.
Well, that's why teams have changed the way that they play those long kicks in those situations. They had Erner back there. In case that ball is short, and they can field it in the end zone and return it. And of course, when you have field goal block personnel on the field, you don't have a lot of guys with great mobility that can run down returners like that. That's the danger in going for those long field goals.
Here's the freshman, McCaffrey. Keeps it. That's the edge. McCaffrey's loose. Across midfield. Juan Brisker with the stop. 22-yard pickup, Robert.
Boy, just so dangerous with that speed, and that's that run-pass option right there. You're putting Shaka Toney in conflict right there. Is he going to try and cover Austin Allen on the outside, or is he going to try and collapse inside to tackle Luke McCaffrey? And because Luke McCaffrey is so explosive, you try and delay that decision. You're a little bit late collapsing inside. He's the kind of guy you have to take a bit of a different angle on.
This is Scott. Driven back. Give him a yard pickup, and you know, Nebraska, every time they had the football, they turned it into points with McCaffrey in that first half.
1 yard gain, second and 9 from 43.
Second down and 9. From the Penn State 43. Little shuffle pass to Wan'Dale Robinson, but that one signals crossed there. Shaka Toney and Ellis Brooks.
1 yard gain, third and 8 from the 42.
Yeah, you could see he was going to try a lot. Yeah, he was going to try to get a fake handoff at least to Alante Brown on that one, coming across the formation on the jet sweep action. Timing got thrown off a little bit, but a nice job by the Penn State defense right there, getting them into third and long.
McCaffrey flush, throws, incomplete.
McCaffrey's pass is incomplete, intended for Wan'Dale out of it.
Yeah, nice job by Penn State on this one. Give up some initial yardage right there, but able to tighten up, give their offense the ball back. First time today that that's happened.
Yeah. Christop come to punt things away. Jahan Dotson standing back at his own 10. So when we come back, another look at this Nittany Lions offense and Will Levis. Hey, the hustling Huskers today's flyover, formerly the 155th Air Refueling Wing of the Nebraska National Guard. They're based right here in Lincoln, and the plane is an AKC-135 Strato tanker. Of course, in honor of our Veterans Day, Fox Sports proudly salutes all of those who serve our country. That's why Fox Sports is working with the U.S. Vets, the nation's largest nonprofit provider of comprehensive services to homeless, at-risk veterans to ensure food stability for veterans through the holiday season. Damian Jackson, one of the linebackers for Nebraska, you know, he was a Navy SEAL. Served for 4 years.
Well, they say, yeah, he's a grown man, and so much respect from the rest of the team. And players talk about how rough their day was or how rough their week was. I said, let me tell you something about a little Navy SEAL action. Kind of puts it in perspective.
Right. Briar Muse. Brought down about a yard. Shy of a first down. JoJo Doman and Colin Miller make the stop. 3-yard gain. Third and 2 coming here for Penn State. Ford, legs churning. Looks like he's got a first down.
Well, Levis does a nice job getting up there, recognizing that they've got a numbers advantage to the right side of the line of scrimmage. You can see Miller coming in there for Nebraska, trying to make that stop late. But it was too late. And a nice job moving the chains there with a good check from the quarterback.
Levis through the air, pressure, throws. Incomplete, but there's a flag. Miles Farmer on coverage. Parker Washington had it, bobbled it. Let's see what the flag is.
They're going for a double move on that one. Wasn't open. Questionable decision there to even try the throw.
Interference. Defense, number 18. Spot foul, automatic, first down.
You're going to call that one on Farmer. He had 2 picks last week.
See, Farmer doesn't get his head around soon enough. But that's a dangerous throw right there.
Ron Lee is checked into the backfield for Penn State. From their own 43. That's Dotson. Shakes, gets to the outside. He is in Nebraska territory.
This is why he's so dangerous, the run after the catch and understanding the leverage that defenders have. Quick move, gets to the outside. Gets a little stiff arm up there. He's going to have something to say again. If Penn State's able to fight their way back in this one, Dotson's going to have a big part in what we see.
21-yard pickup. Straight power. Devon Lee. On Penn State, they're averaging just 26 points per game this season. It's the fewest they've averaged in 5 years. Right, Lee again, and Lee takes it to the house. Touchdown, Penn State. 31-yard touchdown run, his first of the season.
Perfect call by offensive Kirk Soraka on this one. They're going to call this into the blitz. And they said that Lee was their home run hitter. Nobody home at the second level of that defense or the third level of that defense because of the blitz from the right side of the formation.
Vinegar with the Extra point. It's good. Nittany Lions 82 yards on 6 plays. And the freshman, Wan'Dale, first touchdown of his career. Penn State making a comeback, 14-point lead now as they go 82 yards on 6 plays. Wan'Dale, the freshman, it's his first touchdown. Jordan Stout to kick things away. Alante Brown back for the Cornhuskers. Both these programs looking for their first win of the season.
Where you're going to see Henrich here on the end of the line of scrimmage, Luke Reimer. Both of these guys are going to block down. That means on the end of the line of scrimmage, you can't overflow. You have to expect somebody to be coming over here to block, but this is where they're going to try to attack. And so you have to be aware of that. He just flat out whiffs on this one, and Reimer comes over the top and gets blocked just wide open. But again, you've got to make somebody. They call it a wrong arm technique, so you're basically occupying that space.
Bad snap. And McCaffrey is sacked by Shaka Tony. 5-yard loss. That's snap again, high to the outside by Juergens. 5-yard loss. McCaffrey to the outside to Allen. Nine-yard pickup. Third down.
Big third down here for this Penn State defense. Have an opportunity to get their offense, the ball back again. A lot of confusion here from the Nebraska offense. Not sure of the personnel that they have. Guys running on and off the field. Of course, if they get the opportunity to substitute, then the defense gets a chance to substitute. That's why the officials in there slowing down McCaffrey.
Here's McCaffrey, steps up, under pressure, and brought down again. Ellis Brooks. 4-yard loss. And the Penn State defense coming up big.
And this is where tempo can hurt you when you get a little bit of confusion, especially with young players. Just this defense. We talked about the history of Brent Pry and this Penn State defense over the years. They've been tremendous getting into the backfield, producing sacks. Again, third in the country over the last 6 years, behind only Clemson and Alabama in sacks.
Here's Dotson. Hesitates, turns it up, and brought down close to midfield. Good return by Jahan Dotson. 46-yard punt, 19-yard return, and we are Penn State coming back. 27-13 is our score here in the third quarter, 6 minutes. And all of a sudden, the Penn State defense has come alive, gotten a couple of stops. Nittany Lions offense have run it 35 times. They've thrown it 18. Levis through the air again, and that one's complete to Parker Washington. And another first down for Penn State.
Nice decisive delivery right here from Will Levis. Sees it, steps, throws. Nice ball. Gives Washington a chance to make something happen after the catch. That's what accuracy does. That's a long throw outside of the numbers. Good job by Levis.
Pickup of 11. Levis is going to keep it. Cuts back. Brought down at the 30. Another 11-yard pickup.
Yeah, nice call here from offensive coordinator Kirk Soraka. You see Kayvon Lee leading up, getting a nice block there. All kinds of space for Levis to operate and get up to that second level. And that's how those 5-yard gains can turn into 10, 15-yard gains. You get that lead blocker getting up to the next level, and that's what they use Lee for there.
Dotson at the bottom of your screen. And they ride Kayvon Lee. Give him maybe a yard. Second and 9. Levis keeps it. Hit at the 20. Will Honus, Garrett Nelson.
Boy, Levis is really starting to feel it right now. Takes off again, all kinds of space. They need to account for the legs of Will Levis. They've not done so. This is a kind of situation where you start thinking about leaving that extra player, that spy in the box to account for Levis's legs. Levis does a nice job finishing that one off.
Inside the red zone, lowers his shoulder. And brought down at the 11, Caleb Tanner. 7-yard pickup for the big man.
Said Will Levis was a more powerful runner. You can see that right here. But that's a nice job blocking everybody on that one. Brenton Strange got a nice lead block.
Inside the 10 is Kayvon Lee. And the Nittany Lions knocking on the door. First and goal. I tell you what, this game could get interesting.
The game already has gotten very interesting right here.
For defensive ending.
Defense picks up a couple of stops. The offense starts to get rolling. And, you know, in this era, again, of COVID, when you don't have fans in the stands, you think, well, an opposing offense should really like that. But you kind of feed off of that energy. You want to go on the road and you want to quiet the fans, but sometimes you make some plays. That spark can come from offense, can come from defense, can come from special teams. But this Penn State team playing with a lot of energy right now, all phases working together. The common element, though, is intensity. It just a completely different level of intensity from them right now.
Hey, don't forget college football continues over on Fox at 3:30 Eastern. You got 20th ranked USC taking on Arizona, followed by Oregon and Washington State at 7 Eastern. Or listen, you can catch everything on the Fox Sports app. So first and goal for Coach Franklin and his Nittany Lions. Kayvon Lee in the backfield. From the 7.
A lot of room to the field on this one.
Trips at the bottom. It's Levis. Caleb Tanner was the first to meet him at the line of scrimmage.
Nice job by the Nebraska defense that time. You get multiple receivers into the boundary like that and so much space to the field, you almost always get some kind of play in that direction. Good job by Eric Chenander, defensive coordinator's defense, realizing that one, collapsing and getting Will Levis down for a short to no gain.
Dotson at the bottom of your screen. They give it to Lee, and he's bottled up by JoJo Domann. An important third down call coming here for Penn State.
Boy, and they timed this blitz perfectly with Domann coming off the edge. Did a nice job getting under control, breaking his feet down to make that tackle.
Officials timeout for
Like
defensive
Garrett Nelson
injury.
down.
Nelson lined up on the end of the line of scrimmage there.
Robinson is up. There's Coach Frost out there to help him up.
Yeah, and he's hanging that left shoulder. You know, as they take on those blocks, as they come across, they lower that shoulder. Sometimes guys can get the stingers, shoulders.
Here's an all-important third down call for Penn State. 3rd and goal. From the 8. Trips at the top. Levis keeps it. And brought down. Markel Dismute with a 2-yard loss.
This is a nice job by Dismute. This is understanding the situation, but what's transpired on this drive. They know that Will Levis had dropped back a number of times and taken off like that. Dismute came in just a little bit wide, but was able to collapse down and make that play, stopping Will Levis.
Here's Jake Pinniger. He's already 2 of 2. This is from 27. And he is now 3 of 3. So Penn State has put 10 points on the board here in the 3rd quarter. Luke McCaffrey, the Big Red offense, when we come back.
Man, that was the Buccaneers against the Saints last week.
Boy, that was ugly. Wasn't that brutal?
Crazy.
Stout kicking things away. Another touchback. The Nittany Lions had some opportunities here in the red zone, but you got to cash those in for 6 as opposed to the field goals. 3 trips, 3 field goals for Penn State. Now, so far in this quarter and in this half, I mean, they've dominated time of possession. Nittany Lions with 21 plays. Huskers with just 7. They've got certainly hadn't helped with the 3 and outs, but Penn State is trying to make a comeback here. And the play clock's about to run out on them.
Yeah, and we're seeing it again.
Nebraska. This is the first of the half. It will be a 30-second timeout.
Running Cade Warner into the formation late there. This offense has seemed out of sorts in this second half. Now look, credit Penn State. I think Brent Pry's done a nice job adjusting his defense and really accounting for the legs of Luke McCaffrey, saying, hey, okay, if this guy's going to beat us, he's going to have to make some throws, and these guys are going to have to beat tight man coverage, or these they do kind of what Seahawks do. They press and kind of drop back into zone with those corners, but they're going to have to beat tight coverage, and Nebraska hasn't been able to respond, but they've seemed out of sorts. It's a few times now in this half we've seen them running players on and running players off late.
Robinson in the backfield. He gets the carry. Robinson down the sideline. He's got a first down and more. Joey Porter Jr. forces him out of bounds. 14-yard pickup.
Nice job. And so many times we had seen an inside zone out of that formation. This time they get him moving all the way to the edge. Tendency breaker right there.
This will be from their own 39. McCaffrey keeps it. And that should be the last play of this quarter.
And even on that play right there, a little bit of confusion, bad at the mesh point, meaning at the place where the handoff or fake handoff is supposed to occur.
We go to the 4th quarter. Nebraska holding on to an 11-point lead. Start of the 4th quarter. Two of the winningest college football programs looking for their first win of the season. Wan'Dale Robinson gets the call straight up the middle. That's a first down.
Well, Wan'Dale's a very deliberate runner and obviously has great acceleration, you can see, but we've talked about this a lot. Not a huge back, not going to run a lot of guys over, but he's not going to turn anything down, and he's going to hit the hole hard every time.
He's got it again. Picked up 6 the first time. That's a pickup of 3. Jason Owe with the stop.
Well, nothing fancy, but some solid blocking. Matt Farniok getting up to the second level of the defense that time from his guard position. Now at least they're lined up in empty, but we'll see. Sometimes you get Wan'Dale motioning back into the backfield.
Empty set for McCaffrey. To the outside to Xavier Betts. Nine-yard pickup. Another first down for Nebraska. They'll go with tempo. Penn State dominated the third quarter with 142 total yards of offense. Nebraska had just 47 in that third.
Nice job by Luke McCaffrey there, though, recognizing the soft coverage Penn State was playing over Betts. Well, he turned. He knew exactly where he was going at the snap of the ball.
Here's Robinson. Look out. Oh, do we have a horse collar? Yes, we do. Shaka Tony. Grabbed it. Didn't let go.
Boy, Wan'Dale was feeling it. He was like, I could have been gone on that one. Allen does a nice job holding off. There's a face mask, actually.
Yeah.
During the run, personal foul, face mask, defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
Well, such a costly penalty in that near red zone area. You get those 15-yarders. Tony just trying to make a play right there. That acceleration of Wan'Dale Robinson, so dangerous. Defenders just trying to grab a hold of whatever they can to hang on to the guy.
Robinson's going to check back in, and Lonte Brown will come out. Penn State getting their lineup together.
You got 12 men on the field
Timeout.
right there.
Nebraska, the second of the half will be a full media timeout.
We'll take a break with them. 11-point lead for Nebraska. Time for our Nissan Heisman Watch. Nissan, the premier partner of the Heisman Trophy. Robert?
Well, I think the interesting thing to note here is how many games people have played. No particular order here, but see Zach Wilson already played 8 games, but the 30 total TDs. BYU, been a lot of fun to watch. And, of course, big win over Boise State. But it'll be really interesting to see who gets the Heisman in virtual announcement on January 5th.
Wan'Dale Robinson gets the carry. B.J. Mustipher with the stop.
Nice job by Mustipher, fighting through the block on that one. Guys trying to block you doesn't mean you have to stay blocked. Mustipher does a nice job sliding off, making a tackle.
Finally get guys lined up. Here's McCaffrey. Knocked down at the 10-yard line. Jaquan Brisker came up.
Brisker does a nice job coming down from his safety position on this one, because McCaffrey had some blockers in front of him. You can see Farniok fighting his way up in there. Brisker does a nice job recognizing where McCaffrey is going to be able to break free on that one. Showed up at the point of attack again with bad intentions. Nice physical tackle.
3rd and 2. Here's McCaffrey. up forward motion there, and they marked that one about 2 yards shy.
Interesting decision here. You kick it, you go up 14. Much safer, only being up 11 right here. You don't want them just to be able to get the touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
So here's
Cornhuskers scored 2 touchdowns here.
2 for 2. This is from 25 yards out. And the game clock might have ran out on him.
Delay a game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
They got lucky that they got the delay a game because he missed that kick. So now this one will be from about 30. And it's money. Go 3 for 3. 14-point lead for the Cornhuskers. Let's take it back to 1982. Both these teams in the top 10. They were ranked 2nd and 8th. Penn State down late. Watch Todd Blackledge. It's Mike McCloskey. Too bad we only had Mike Pereira in those days. They called that a catch.
If that was replay, definitely would have been turned over, but there wasn't.
Nope, and it turned into a touchdown and a win for Penn State. People here in Lincoln still got the red ants in the pants over that one.
That was not a touchdown.
Exactly, we heard that.
Doesn't count.
We talked about how these are 2 of the winningest programs in college football, 7th and 8th. And well, I tell you what, Built for Success is presented by Rocket Mortgage for a personalized playbook on home loans, and Rocket can. Penn State, 4 national titles, 900 wins. Nebraska, almost 900 wins, 5 national titles. The last one, 1997. Tom Osborne was the head coach, and a guy named Scott Frost was the quarterback for the Cornhuskers. So here's Will Levis. He's had 5 drives so far for Penn State. They've resulted in a touchdown, a couple of field goals, and a missed field goal as well. Blitz off the edge. That's incomplete. Caprio Boodle flying in there.
Good job by Eric Chenander, the defensive coordinator, dialing up that blitz. Levis just kind of sees that thing at the last second, tries to get that ball over to Dotson, but does a nice job missing in the right place. And that's, again, it's not just about decisions, it's about execution. Levis gets that thing to the inside. Could have been picked off.
Again, under pressure, spins out, though. Throws. He's got a man wide open. It's Freiermuth. And he gets caught. And dropped at the 1. Boodle makes the stop. Pat Freiermuth. A 74-yard pitch and catch.
This play just does not happen if Will Levis doesn't elude the tackle of Garrett Nelson. Freiermuth somehow gets behind the defense on that one. Freiermuth has been out of the game quite a bit today.
Oh, and Levis gets driven back by JoJo Doman. Never going to confuse Freiermuth, though, with fleet of foot.
Boy, Doman does such a nice job on that one. Recognizes what the play is. I've got the quarterback. I don't care what you do on that mesh with the running back. I'm taking you out.
So now 2nd and goal. Up the middle. Devin Ford scores for Penn State.
Nice job, Will Levis, on that one, recognizing that you had one-man advantages on the outside for the defenders. You had light box, something that you want to run into. Taking checks to that run. Devin Ford does a nice job extending that ball over the plane of the goal line for the touchdown. They may review it, though, to see if that knee was down before.
Well, the touchdown is under further review.
Gonna check and see if that ball was over the plane before the knee goes down.
I'll tell you what, if it stands, 4 plays, 75 yards, and Penn State does it in just a minute 14. Looks like it's simultaneous, isn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing on that one. We may have another angle that shows it better. I don't know if we're going to be able to see that. I think the left knee comes down first, and we're not going to be able to see when that comes down on that angle. And of course, the call on the field, a touchdown, and nothing clear and convincing in any replay that would overturn that call.
Just going to show how important that field goal was for Nebraska.
After review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown stands.
Because Penn State comes storming back. They took them just a minute to do it. Extra point is good. And I'll tell you what, we got ourselves a football game. It started with Freiermuth. 74 yards to the 1. Ford capped it in. And the Fighting Franklins are back. We got a football game. 23-7 our score here in the fourth quarter. Nebraska started the freshman Luke McCaffrey. He certainly delivered in his first career start, and Will Levis had to spell Sean Clifford, and he's delivered as well with 157 yards through the air and 52 on the ground. Penn State has outscored Nebraska 17-3 here in the second half.
From offensive coordinator Kirk Soraka. Knows that they like to play deep thirds. Here we got a safety that's going to be coming to the middle of the field, and Boodle just does not drop deep enough. Thinks he has flat responsibility, puts him in conflict on this one, and not able to get deep enough on that one, and that's what allows Freiermuth to be wide open on that one. Got to be deeper than the deepest in your zone. That Boodle didn't get it done there.
There's Robinson with the carry. Tripped up by Brandon Smith. Freiermuth with 97 yards receiving. 5 catches. See what the Cornhuskers see if they have done here in the second half. A couple of punts and a field goal. The first half, 4 possessions, and all 4 were scores. McCaffrey keeps it, gets the edge, hit, fumble, but out of bounds. Juan Brisker.
The ruling on the field is a fumble forward out of bounds. It goes back to the spot of the fumble. The clock will wind.
8-yard pickup.
McCaffrey does a nice job using his acceleration to get to the outside on that one. Loses that ball, but again, fumbling out of bounds.
Yep.
Goes back to where the fumble occurred.
Exactly.
Go forward.
Can't gain yards on a fumble, the offense. Here's 3rd and 2. McCaffrey again. First down. for the freshman.
Not reading anybody on that one, so a called run. See an opportunity again to use Luke McCaffrey's legs to move the chains right here.
McCaffrey through the air, hit as soon as he threw it, and intercepted. Smith comes up with the pick, and a big turnover for Penn State. Oweh applied the pressure, and defensive coordinator Brent Pry said that was our emphasis all week long. We got to create turnovers because we had a lot of tip balls last week and didn't come up with them.
And with younger players, that's what you want to do. You see Oweh doing a nice job, dipping the shoulder, leaning to get in on that one. But McCaffrey takes a chance trying to throw that one. Penn State able to pick it off. Now they get a short field and an opportunity potentially to tie this.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are getting clearer, yeah, I feel free to bare my skin, yeah, that's on me. Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is everything.
Keep your skin clearer with Skyrizi. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months. Of those, nearly 9 out of 10 sustained it through 1 year. And Skyrizi is 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
I see nothing in a different way, and it's my moment, so I just gotta say, nothing is everything.
Skyrizi may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or coughs, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Nothing is everything.
Now is the time to ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi.
Lower carbs, lower calories, higher expectations. The light beer you've been waiting for has arrived.
Black Friday used to mean long lines and deals gone in a flash. That was Black Friday then.
7:30 left in the game. 7-point lead for Nebraska, but the Nittany Lions have a turnover. First of the day by the Nebraska offense. Here's Levis over the middle, in and out of the hands of Keandre Lambert-Smith.
See a blitz again coming here off the edge. Will Levis knows that he's going to have an opportunity to get that ball in there, tries to, just got to make that catch.
Here's Ford, spins.
Nice job by Ford, getting a few extra yards out of that one. Spinning out of the tackle, getting the hand down.
8-yard pickup for him.
Stays nice and low, look at the balance there. Dropping the hand, getting the spin, getting a couple extra yards out of that one.
3rd and 2, Ford again. And he's right there at the first down.
That's how big those extra yards were on the 2nd down play from Ford. Little things add up to make a huge difference in ball games. Missed field goals, a few extra yards on a play like that. And you never know which ones they're going to be. That's why effort on every single play is so important.
Both of these programs fighting for their first win of the season. Here's Levis. That one tipped. But Darius Payne with the tip.
Payne's lined up on the end of the line of scrimmage right there, reading the eyes of Levis the entire time, who telegraphs that one. Made his decision right at the snap where he was going to go. Payne could see that, waited for the ball to get up into the air, tipped it, almost picked off.
Here's Levis again, and again over the middle, and that's incomplete. You're looking at Daniel George, with DiCaprio Boodle right there in coverage.
We you can see Eric Chenander, the defensive coordinator from Nebraska, they are not going to concede anything. It's going to be press man-to-man on the outside every single time. That's exactly what you saw right there.
3rd and 10.
Freiermuth in the slot. Got a little bit of space.
Dotson at the top of your screen. Levis looking, the screen, Ford. And brought down at the 32 by Colin Miller.
Really a nice play call there. But Colin Miller does a nice job sniffing this thing out. All the way from the other side of the formation, he comes up like he's going to blitz, sees that it's going to be a screen, gets all the way across, makes the play. That's what a high motor can do for you. They're going for it here on 4th down.
4th and 5 from the Nebraska 32.
Boy, Freiermuth again. Alone in the slot.
He's looking his way. He's got a man open. The throw's the outside and complete. Keandre Lambert-Smith makes it catch. They move the sticks.
Boy, great job by Will Levis here. He wants to go to Freiermuth, but you see they're going to drop Caleb Tanner into coverage to drop on Freiermuth. So Levis has got to stay patient, able to deliver that ball to Lambert-Smith. Nice job by Levis, because his initial target was gone. Didn't panic, stayed within the structure of the play.
Here's Ford. Good open field tackle by Will Honas. Dotson comes down at the bottom of your screen. Inside the red zone here for the Nittany Lions. Under 5 minutes to play. Levis will take off. JoJo Doman makes the stop. 3-yard pickup. 3rd down coming.
Doman does a good job, rapid on this play. See the strength of Levis, though, able to get a couple extra yards out of that one. Even when a defender's completely draped on him, Levis can still get a few more yards.
Third and 4 from the 15.
Hard to believe that we go a whole game and Dotson isolated doesn't have an opportunity to make a play.
Lee.
Got the first on that one. You would have an opportunity to get one more first down here, but I'm sure I want to punch this one in. They don't want to leave too much time here, though. Had that situation earlier this year.
Dotson at the top. Levis looking for Parker, and that's incomplete. Deontay Williams in coverage.
Parker lined up in the slot, all kinds of space over the top for the corner route there. Williams in the coverage, tries to go with the back shoulder throw there, just puts a little bit too much air on it, a little bit too deep. No chance for Washington to get that one.
So here's 2nd and 10 from the 11. 3 seconds on the play clock. Levis throws the fade. Dotson, incomplete. DiCaprio Boodle right there.
Well, you could sense it the entire game that that opportunity was going to come. Where you have Dotson singled up. A nice job on the coverage here, just not leaving a lot of space, but Levis has got to, I mean, it wasn't really a bad throw. That's the one where you might want to go to a back shoulder fade. You really have to read defenders and understand what kind of man coverage they're in, inside, outside, over the top. Defenders have been over the top on that one. That's when you try that back shoulder throw. That's a timing thing, though, with a quarterback that hasn't been having a lot of first-team snaps.
Penn State's going to have to call a timeout. That play clock was down to a second.
Timeout. Penn State. It was the first of the half. 30 seconds in length.
You know, the second half has really all been about the Nittany Lions.
Really has on both sides of the ball. Really got physical. That run game's been going. Good calls, good timing, calling things into blitzes, getting things done. Been a little mix-up in the coverage, but that play again never happens without the smart slide in the pocket by Will Levis. There's the McCaffrey interception. Sets up the drive. That was started by the pressure. Get people in his face, force him into a bad decision, and then capitalize with the takeover. Turnover.
Nittany Lions have put up 254 yards here in the second half and have fought their way back. Third down. From the 11. Levis looking, throws over the middle, tip. He was looking at Freiermuth.
Deontay Williams almost picked that one off. Levis, a little bit. Just good coverage there. Really wasn't a bad throw. Didn't want to get that thing down a little bit. But gonna go on fourth down here. Big call.
This could be the game. Could be. Let's see, 4th and 10 for the Nittany Lions. Levis looking, throws, no, incomplete. Martell Dismute. He was looking at Parker Washington, and a big stop by the Big Red.
Big stop by the Big Red, but still going to be an opportunity here. And Levis, maybe get that thing a little bit further to the inside. Parker's able to make that play. Dismuke able to get his hand in there because Levis tried to throw it right into him, and he didn't have enough separation for the throw to be in that area. And that's something quarterbacks just need reps for, seeing what type of leverage defenders have and making the throw accordingly.
Here's Robinson with the carry. 3-yard pickup. And Nebraska's going to take their time getting lined up and running these plays.
Well, classic 4-minute offense. Try and get that clock all the way down. You burn as much time as you can. Stay in bounds. Try and get a couple of first downs here. Penn State still with the 2 timeouts.
Here's Robinson again. Ellis Brooks makes the stop.
Now Penn State burning one of those timeouts.
Let's take a look at what these programs have ahead. For the Nittany Lions, Iowa just thoroughly dominated Minnesota. Then Michigan and Rutgers. Then for Nebraska, Illinois, Iowa, Purdue, and Minnesota. Scott Frost, this is the first time he's faced Penn State.
And then on the 19th, they would have the game on against the opposite division, the crossover division game. You don't see those, but on the 19th, that's the way the Big Ten's going to do it. So Penn State would play a crossover game against somebody from the West, and Nebraska would play a crossover game against somebody from the East.
Here's McCaffrey. Ooh, dangerous throw over the middle. Dangerous.
Ellis Brooks on the blitz there really forced the hand of Luke McCaffrey on that one. Made him get rid of that one before he wanted to. You're going to see him immediately, and they had enough people there to block. They could have gotten Ellis Brooks on that one. McCaffrey would have had a little bit more time.
Christop will come in to punt things away. Dangerous Jahan Dotson. Standing back at his own 43. He calls for a fair catch.
It's a pretty good kick right there.
So the Nittany Lions will start things off from their own 31. A 53-yard boomer by Christop. So Will Levis and the Nittany Lions have to go 69 yards. James Franklin trying to avoid going 0-4 on the season. 2001, that was the last time Penn State has started 0-4. They've lost more games this season than they did all of last season, in part because of injuries. Journey Brown lost. Michael Parsons, he opted out because of COVID. Noah Kane, they lost him. Their other fine running back on the first series of the first game. Levis steps up and takes off. Good fake, spins. And Levis brought down at the 46-yard line.
Well, as a defensive coordinator, in a situation like this, Eric Jenander's got to make the decision. Am I going to bring pressure? Where am I going to bring it from? Because of a mobile quarterback like Will Levis, great instincts, escaping the pocket, and nice spin to get a few extra yards.
Over the middle to Lambert Smith. And he's down at midfield. Give him 5 yards. 2 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time for Levis. Freiermuth. He's got the catch.
Catch and first down to stop the clock as they move the chain. So important in college football, of course.
One timeout for Penn State. Down 7. That one's complete. Parker Washington makes the catch.
Boy, what a throw by Levis. Pressure in his face, falling back on this one. Throw outside the numbers. Great job on the completion there by Will Levis.
Minute 30 left. From the 27, he's going to Dotson, to the corner, knocked away. Cam Taylor-Britt, the best cover corner.
And Britt, even with Dotson on that one, so he's able to get his head back. Jumps a little bit early on that one, but still looks like able to make a deflection. Just barely. But that was a nice ball by Levis. Good coverage by Taylor-Britt.
Here's 2nd and 10. Freiermuth in the slot. Dotson at the bottom of your screen. Looking at Freiermuth. At the 20. Onus with the stop. Clock ticks. Pressure coming. Levis off the back foot. Throws. And caught by Parker Washington. The freshman coming up with some big catches here.
Wow, what a catch by Parker Washington. Nice, strong hands, extending the hands away from the body, and just squeezing that one. Because Deontay Williams had position there and actually looked like may have actually had a hand either on Parker Washington's hand or even on the ball, but Parker Washington, because he reached those hands back and caught that so cleanly, was able to squeeze it and then move that away from Williams to make the catch.
Levis throws to the end zone. No, incomplete. Looking at Washington again. Markel Dismute right with it.
That's that anticipation throw right there. And we talk about that timing again. It's a quarterback that hasn't taken a lot of first-team snaps. This is something where Washington has to understand where the defender is and where the quarterback's likely to throw the ball. Little push there at the end. Refs didn't think it was enough to make the call.
Levis looking at Fryersmuth. Throws incomplete in his direction. Third down coming.
I'll make the point again. Maybe one last time here. Such a difference not having home crowd noise. Will Levis able to communicate all of his changes at the line of scrimmage to his receivers.
Levis under pressure and sacked. Luke Reimer. That's going to force Penn State to take their final timeout.
Timeout. Penn State. There's the third and final charge timeout. 30 seconds.
And the defensive line for Nebraska really comes through there. Caleb Tanner, we talked about him. 4-star recruit in from Georgia. On the back end, nowhere to go with the ball. And the receivers just a little bit surprising. Didn't see the sense of urgency there from the wide receivers. Yes, you're covered up, but try and get some space. Of course, with the collapse of the pocket right there, no chance for Will Levis. And the one positive thing about losing a little bit of yardage down in a situation like this, you do get a little bit more space to operate a wider variety of routes. But of course, one chance.
Well, that's it. This is the game. 4th and goal. Fryersmuth in the slot. Dotson at the bottom. And Nebraska will call their last timeout.
Nebraska. That is the third and final charge of the half.
Well, you saw
30 seconds.
JoJo Doman almost like in a panic on that one. Didn't like what he saw on the other side of the defensive formation right there. You make sure that you get your calls right and understand where doubles may occur, where a guy will or won't have help. Consequently, what type of leverage you're going to be playing as a defender.
Fourth and goal. From the Nebraska 13. Penn State looking for their first victory. So is Nebraska. Levis steps up under pressure, sacked. Ben Stille. Coming into the game, Penn State have been sacked a Big Ten worst 13 times. And Nebraska coming up with a big one here to seal victory.
Kind of fitting with the program of the tradition of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Make some big plays offensively. In the second half, start to get shut down, but it's that defense. Guys haven't earned their black shirts yet. Maybe a couple of those guys get their black shirts for sealing the victory there.
Scott Frost gets his first victory over Penn State. Luke McCaffrey, his first victory as a starting quarterback in Nebraska. Their first victory of the season. Penn State now 0-4. First time that's happened since 2001. (30-23) is our final here from Lincoln. Penn State had one final opportunity on fourth. There's Ed McCaffrey and family. And 10 from the 13. But a big sack by Nebraska to seal victory.
Good job on the initial coverage there on the back end. No quick place for Levis to get rid of that ball. And of course, you can see James Franklin.
Luke McCaffrey.
Greatest formation in football, that victory formation. Very happy.
Gotta love it for him. And the first victory of the season for Nebraska. 30-23, our final here from Lincoln. For Robert Smith, I'm Brian Custer. Don't forget, more football here on the way on FS1. But for now, let's send it to my main man, Rob Stone, and the entire gang in our Los Angeles studio.